Welcome to number 300, everybody. Absolutely amazing. So good to be here. Great to see everybody. Yeah, got to shout out. Got to give it, proper due because, it's kind of been a journey for all of us, especially myself. So, big shout out, everybody first into the chat that's here, my long term people that have been with me. Great to be doing this, and I really appreciate it. I do appreciate everybody here. A couple individuals I have to shout out to and personally thank. First, my wife. You know what? Puts up with a lot, so thank you very much, honey. And then, of course, Mitch Ray, who really just kind of led the way, showed me what he was doing with the harmonic patterns and technical analysis and how well it was received. So thank you, Mitch, and his crew, his team, Brad, everybody else, and then all the harmonic traders, members, basic, whatever, subscribers, my mods, and then of course the regulars in here: Miss Stephanie, David, Alex, Justin, Evan, Hawk, all the mods, all the chargers. You guys are. I really appreciate everybody. And so to do that, you know what? I came across really interesting. I came across a box of Harmonic Trader, the Harmonic Trader books from I don't know where. They were like reprints. It must have been like 15 years ago. So I'm going to give some of those away today. I'll sign them. It's interesting because the Harmonic Trader was put out 25 years ago, and that spiral bound book, I probably sold 1,000 of those or more. I was, save it for another time, but I've seen it, people reselling it on eBay for like $300. It's ridiculous. This is a softbound book, so it's the basic of the basic. And speaking of basic, get the basic membership at harmonictrader.com. Register now and get on in to what we're doing here, and then you log in. All the books are available on the basic members page, but everyone must get with our free 14-day trial for Harmonic Pattern Collection. For TradingView, definitely a place to start because TradingView with crypto and everything, and then try one of the major platforms. Again, MetaTrader 5, I said that last time. A lot of firms are starting to use MetaTrader 5 for crypto. There's the TradingView info. And then the book I'll give away today, Harmonic Trader right there, that really was kind of the first thing. That was really just a collection of thoughts that pretty much started harmonic patterns as they're known today. And so a lot of it's really basic information, but a lot of source data. But it's amazing the evolution of the concepts and just what are the understanding of patterns and how everything comes together. Really was laid out here. So I'll give that away to the first person that types Harmonic Trader into the chat. First person to type in Harmonic Trader into the chat, I'll give you a sign. We'll send you a signed copy. And I got to say this, if you are international, you cannot, we'll give you a gold membership because the books are not getting there. They're just not getting there anymore. So, Rogelio, you didn't say Harmonic Trader book. Luis Sosa, you two guys, I'll give you guys 2 books there. You have to contact Miss Stephanie on the Discord. So get over to the basic members page for the Discord information. You reach out to her and you send her your address. Again, if you're international, we're going to have to give you a software because most of them have been returned. You guys know that I was giving away books like crazy last year. And believe me, I was spending up to $40, $50 to ship those books to everybody. And a lot of them were returned. I mean, now just about all of them get returned. So We'll give away a few more. But check out all of the information. The Harmonic Trader, that's super basic. If you really want to start and dive in deep, go to Harmonic Trader 1 and go 1, 2, 3. And all of those PDFs are free here. And then watch the webinars. So again, this podcast is all about sharing the knowledge freely. And then you guys will get it. I mean, really, because what happens is that light bulb goes on, then you say, okay, I really want to subscribe and upgrade here because obviously some things are going on and I can follow what Scott and his crew are doing and stay up to date. But at first, I believe take the first 3 months and learn for free and then join in with, both hands. Today I want to start with the QQQ. Just phenomenal action. I don't think people. I know Mitch is probably going to be all over this tonight. Of how critical, what a strong formation today's action is. This is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, this just massive breakdown gap on the 4-hour on the Qs right now. And then today's breakout. These are real-time sessions. But the other thing I want to highlight here, where's my regression channel? Oh, it's up here. Okay, yeah. We are just on the train track here, going right into earnings coming up. And we just touched another low end of the 4-hour channel. Okay, this just is going to continue in today's upside, especially this first 4 hours today. Huge. Big stuff. I was buying this morning. We'll get to crypto in a minute, okay? Also today, I'm going to give away directly a couple of these Harmonic traders to my long-term people like Miss Victoria. I really appreciate you. Always see you here every session. Please contact Miss Stephanie on the Discord, and I want to send you a book. And also, we're going to get into giving away a couple of software today as well for folks that if you don't have the software, we're going to give away 1 or 2 90-day subscriptions because I think I'm going to go back to this and let people have a shot at getting with the resources. Look, it doesn't take long. You will then understand what I'm talking about in full. Let's get back to it with the Qs here. We know the big numbers are 445. Okay, 445 on the weekly is our hop level. It's talk about precision. There you go. So the big deal we're waiting on right now. Let this pause finish. It could go on another week or two, but with earnings coming up, we're going to test it. We're going to run it. Also, this channel of what we've seen since the beginning of the year is firmly intact for this to do another push higher now. Okay? Absolutely ideal. I mean, just ideal. This is ideal climbing bullish price action. Let me just even blow it up here. It's remarkable because you have a massive pattern. You're at the hop level. We have even a yellow dot confirmation. But what is happening is we're 5 weeks into this initial test. And what's it doing within always 3 to 5 bar window of any major level? Like, tell me what that price action is in that 3 to 5 bar window. Pretty bullish. We could anticipate the pause at 445, which we have for the last month. But now it looks like it wants to push it. So if we push to 448, 451, don't be surprised, and that would be the move. Big stuff here, and it all fits in with our asset allocation 1.618 expansion cycle plan for the year, for 2024. The year of the 1618 weekly expansion. That would serve as the kind of the minimum, but firm upside objective of what started last fall. This is a 1618 breakout, folks. That's what you're looking at. And it's not really even necessarily a crab pattern. It's just a singular extension. We never had a C point. That unto itself is strong, and another small characteristic of why this is going to the 1618, just based on pure price action alone. Couple more. Hey, what's up? The Ponz is in the house, everybody. Lieutenant Ponzi, great conversation on Tuesday. Thanks again so much. Check out Lieutenant Ponzi over on Twitter, guys. And check out Tuesday's stream. Really enjoyed that one. Hey, Vegas is in the house. What's up, Vegas? Yo, man, Vegas, let's send you a book, okay? Vegas is in the house, and let's email Miss Stephanie on the Discord. I'll send you the first book. I know you don't have that. All right, I'll take care of all my long-term people, as well as Evan Casey. I'll send you a book too. All right. Yeah, I think we're going to give away like 10 books today. I think my wife wants me to clean out the closet there as well. So QQQs, folks, 505, above 500. It reminds me of like Meta before it went to 500. It just a slow, steady climb, and then bang. This is coming in. We're coming into this window. Think of it this way as well. 30 bars, 30 weeks from our current move trying to break out. Puts us right to the end of October. All right, so if this next leg is going to push to that the 505 level, the 30-bar window, we are like 30 weeks away from projecting that out. And what's there? The election. U.S. election, probably the single most important U.S. election related to the markets, the most anticipated one I've ever seen, period. And I don't think it matters. It really doesn't matter, which side. It's just the fact that we have been considering this whole market since last year with the cycle to run up to this election, that powers that be going to be juicing things, spending money to the tune that comes once every 4 years. And if it's a cycle, 4-year cycle thing, yeah. And there's more money than ever. So a lot of, just think of it as activity, a lot of money. People are throwing down a lot of money one way or another this year. Next year, okay, next year would make a lot of sense for a pause, a retracement, a slight slowdown. But from now until going into really 30 weeks from right now, for me, that would define the end phase. That's crazy, but I want people to start thinking about how this thing is going to shape up and where's the end of this move. Same with Bitcoin too, but within the next 30 weeks, window is open, folks. 1618, 505 on the Qs. Let's just quickly knock out the SPY. Same deal, probably nicer. And some of the things I highlighted last week, the long-term possibilities we have right now. We have this big, if we go back to the COVID 2020 low, okay, ABCD. And that unto itself makes sense. I've seen that a lot of times where within, you get these kind of 2-3 year cycles within decades, within long-term trends at important inflection points. Like that could be the 87 low, and then you do a leg up into the 90s and the second leg into the second half. Really similar dynamics. This one, A to B, C's at a 50%. And then your reciprocal extension, because the C point matters. That's one thing we've talked about. I talked about in the Harmonic Trader, that reciprocal ratio gives us a lot of clue of where that ABCD will complete. I mean, the geometry calculation, the measurement is obvious. Okay, that where A to B, that distance, C to D is an equivalent length, and then the ratios create that zone. Why does an ABCD work? It's a simple one-to-one sine wave, in my opinion. Market phyllotaxis sine wave. I know that sounds really heady for whatever, but it really is. The ABCD assumption is a standard framework that, with what we're looking at the SPY, okay, yeah, that could get us to the 2.0 on 625. That's not crazy. A 1618 for the SPY, we know where it is, 565. This could be a deep crab. We could say maybe this is even a butterfly, but regardless, the measurements are higher. Don't need to get into that too much. Listen, I'm going to back my way into crypto in about 5 minutes because we have critical things just continuing to develop that are going to be increasingly in support important. Crude oil. Most critical trend line test here into this wedge, pennant, flag, however you want to call it, long term. We have, there you go, we have plenty of patterns here. Bat, now short-term crab. We're trying to scrape the top end at 83, 84. I've been saying this for a few weeks, okay? Something is coming on crude oil based on the charts because we broke out there and we know what's here. A big pattern preceding it. Our larger target numbers are 91 and then even 106. Things are happening, and this is the beauty of technical analysis in general, where you read the price action, the trading behavior, it clues you in. And with the harmonics, put the harmonic pattern framework of those expectations, what should happen at the certain points, really can kind of fill in the story. And that has been the deal for crude oil for us since the beginning of the year. It didn't look like much. And remember what crypto was popping off? And I was like, hey, look at Apache oil. Or look at Apache, this daily bat pattern, exactly right off the hop level. Or look at Occidental Petroleum. I don't know why I'm slipping today. Oxy right here, right at 56. I mean, the beautiful shark. We're now back to back, shark to shark. These are two prime examples. There's the bearish, comes all the way down. Back to back for the type 2 up here. Oxy and the rest of the crude oil market, listen, are we doing something more than just another kind of 2-year range bound test, from here to here? We start cracking 70, 72 and then break out on the weekly. You're talking doing much bigger things. I'm impressed. Crude oil really asserting itself after being quite benign, if you will. And that is a beautiful chart, folks. Kind of do the breakout from there. Really nice. So, Oxy, and that's Warren Buffett. You going to go against Warren Buffett? Don't fall for it. Are you crazy, Evan? Look at that chart. Okay, if crude was going to have a problem, I would think crude oil would be a lot lower than it was. It never failed. It never gave us the rollover. This is also why we have to be looking at things like ExxonMobil, the bigger ones, the integrated. Folks, it's not an easy read. Okay, it's difficult, but when you're looking at the whole zone here of a pattern, if you go more than 30 bars, you're questioning the pattern itself. If you don't get confirmation, all right, then maybe just reaction, pause. But look at this, look at the dynamics of how this thing got tested and is getting blown out. ExxonMobil, I was long this and Chevron off the lows in 20 up to 22. It was beautiful. Okay, and I had big positions where I sold them up here. And then we got the counter trend HSIs on the weekly, sent it back up. Oh, okay, well, maybe there's a possible retest at 114, but no confirmation up here. There's no bearish dot. Actually, this bullish dot counter is strong. Now, 1, 2, 3, way past 30 bars, 30 weeks. That's what defines a failure. It is the most difficult decision here, and was the most difficult thing for me to figure out in harmonic patterns, period. But if we go there and then you draw out your chart, let's get perspective here. How does that look? I mean, it looked like you're really about to do kind of this megaphone breakout here, where the time consolidated. That's it. It's impressive. That's monthly chart, and again, folks, this does absolutely works. This is run your long term. I mean, super long term like that. Okay, watch ExxonMobil up here at 120. And why I say this is because before crypto, we got to talk about gold. If you're not looking at gold, I mentioned this last time. This is a historic breakout, folks. This is, you want that kind of accompaniment for Bitcoin for long term. What's it saying to us? Again, talk about the message of harmonic patterns and technical analysis. Okay, beautiful deep crab. We knew that. There's been lots of resistance at this 2100, and over the last 2 years, we rode this down to 1815. There was a bunch of patterns there as well. Well, guess what's happening? On the return move, it's starting to kind of pierce it. You had some resistance, again, 2160, but now, not only has enough time transpired, monthly basis, because there's T2 all the way back, well, maybe like 16 months ago. Technically, you could have another 14 months, 30 months. But the thing is, you're already taking out that peak and that peak, any close above all of this, and then your 2012 high, 2358, remarkable. Big stuff on that. It just is really a historic breakout, and 2300 is a very big deal. I'm impressed. Daily time frame, we've got a few patterns up here. Again, 2300 might be a short term, but let me say this. Not a lot of confirmation. It's really stubborn price action. And I would say any close above 2350, that will then just start the march for another all-time 1618. So you want to know where gold's going. Gold does the 1618 off of this 12 to 17 correction. We might even be able to say, oh, that's so close. That's kind of a deep crab. That, here we go again, another 1618, 2900. Gold 2900. And that is a great position structure to support your case for Bitcoin. And essentially, what's really a lot of people are now seeing, the dollar debasement. You see it in the charts. Last note on gold. Why such a deal? Why such a huge structural event happening as we speak? Is this is taking out your B point of the crab pattern that sends your C to D leg in motion. Breakout, and what happens, as we've seen in S&P, the NASDAQ, you get those together and you break out to go to the 1618, it becomes an accelerated character. So we should expect gold above like 2350 to actually pick up steam. Yeah, that's really powerful stuff. Next week, I'll look more at silver, palladium, and a few others that we haven't looked at in a while. We'll do a big rundown on rates. But let's get back, stick with our prime markets. This all reinforces the asset allocation theme that we have anticipated for Bitcoin to the 1618. And so your last couple of days, 48 hours, that flash down to 65, these are gifts. And I the only consideration I have right now is, do we do the type 2 on this 4-hour crab pattern, or do we just generate a nominal oversold and continue higher like we did back in November? I'm going to show you guys those two charts, because it's that far along. Bitcoin where it should be right now. You're not looking for that to screw around anymore. 60,000 would be a maximum retracement, and it would probably be like a flash thing. It's definitely not. We're not at a point anymore where you're looking for big 382 pullbacks. But check it out. Here's the pattern. I posted this on Twitter. Shout out to my man Terry. I haven't talked to him in a while. What's up? We need to catch up, man. But anyway, finally responded to your tweet, and that was a big type 2. It's a bat pattern and a crab pattern, but 61,000 is the number on Bitcoin. We had the same situation. Remember this? It was back in November, and Bitcoin was really starting to get moving from 25 to 36. And then we had a Gartley, and we're like, if we could just get to that type 2 for that Gartley in the 4-hour, it would be perfect. It fell shy. A few $100. Regardless, by the time this thing broke out, or even a few of these HSI signals told you that this was continuing. And that's really what I'm looking for on this situation now. If we only hold 65, it doesn't matter. If we don't go to 61, that's okay too. All right. What you're really focused on is the continuation from here above, because above that pattern, above into new highs, like I said, 1025. 1025 it's the 1618. We are already, structurally, the way we look at major retracements, and this is something that's actually in the Harmonic Trader book. Once you get to an 886 retracement level, you're looking at the 10 or 886, but you've already pierced all of this. You might go sideways for a little while, but your next level will be 113 or 127. But what we know about the whole thing, our larger assumption and how we've compared previous cycles, if this is another growth iteration within the Bitcoin cycle, which it is, the natural level target, the kind of the next set of leaves to be sprouted from the Bitcoin cycle will be a 1618 of the prior at a minimum. If we're going to connect dots, even an ABCD, even if we just said 127, all of that's like 89. So you're a little bit in no man's land. Maybe 62, a back test of the 886. What you're waiting for, though, a breakout of the low 70s. Then you shoot to probably 89, 90, 102.5. Do we get there by the halving? What do you guys think? Do we crack the 1618 by the halving? Let's say that's in 3 weeks. Could that, or the end of the month, or June? Because I think this will, once we get through here, this will accelerate. It hasn't come down. And it was really surprising to see a lot of people's response that they were kind of freaking out about yesterday. And I just said, you can't have it every day. In fact, if this came back, you're possibly looking at some of the last times it's going to loiter around here anywhere close to the 50 or 60 level. Think of it that way. We're moving from mid 50, 60,000 levels with the whole idea of to become a triple digit entity. That's what you're doing right now with Bitcoin. Well, yeah, by end of June. Dave says by the end of June, 102.5, 102, whatever. And then we'll take the larger possibilities for sure. What's up, Matthew Miller? Millar, sorry. All-time highs, could it be a butterfly on Bitcoin? Not on the weekly. Maybe we might get something on the daily. Maybe what you were saying. No, because look, you're created this wedge for the current decision. This consolidation is, are you doing this? Like a 786. I think this is what his inference is, and then up to a 127, which is like 77, 78, something like that. You could do a connect the dots, but that has to be your C point. Note that this little 1618, this 618 retracement just yesterday held pretty firm. The 618 for Bitcoin is right there, 65.3. I think that's a good number to keep in the back of your head, that this current uptrend, this would even be considered the most relevant retracement for the last 3 weeks, is a 618 retracement, and we very well could be starting this kind of a thing. I believe in the stair step. It's not going to be straight off, so if we drop a couple thousand, we were down 4,000 at one point 2 days ago, but it could very well be stuff like this, like, well, here 1618, down 1618, and then just spiral it up. But then you're going to spring it, much like what we saw, okay, from 25,000 to 48,000 was a zone, and it just shot up. And this is another great way to be thinking about these consolidation zones for Bitcoin. But remember, we're looking for kind of accelerated segments. So there, 30 to 48, and then pause, and then up again. Where'd that go? Yeah. So then there, and up again. So in another pause, sideways, get ready for another acceleration thrust higher of this larger trend developing. All the way up, 102.5. Let's get through here. Dave's asking, hey, Scott, can you use harmonics to project a high potential top to a bull run if you use the high time frames or something? We talked about that last week. Look at the parabolic harmonic patterns. We talked about that discussion. Essentially, we're looking for 2618 to 3618 zones. If it's Bitcoin, and for all the new folks, I'm not. I want to be clear, okay? I'm just setting out the same projections that were realized in the last cycle, and what it means to be extreme or parabolic from a harmonic pattern sense. If we're going to do what we think is just a normal cycle growth expansion move, that's a 1618. But if it's going to be extreme, that would be considered like 2618 minimum. And I think the 2618 right there we've seen that every cycle previously in the same way, but there's only been a few. There's been 3 real concrete measurable cycles, but we've seen it before. If it's NVIDIA, if it's the dot-com bubble of the late 90s, this stuff works to frame it out like that. I mean, if we get to this 2618, 314, definitely when we get to 314, I'm looking to jump. That's 185 or 3618, my goodness. And these could be exceeded if it's a crazy mania. Those are just the metrics, 210. But that's what happened last cycle. The 3618 saved my butt. It wasn't easy, but I really, you get to those points where you're like lone man in the room, have to tell yourself, yeesh, I've seen that historically many times. You get to a 3618, that's about it. And if I see signs that confirm it, well, then it's on me to do something about it. Same deal here. That's the plan, but let's take it in chunks, 1618, Dave, nice, man. I appreciate it. It was a nice comment, question. Please reach out to Miss Stephanie on the Discord. I'd love to send you a book, Harmonic Trader book. Also, for those that are new, welcome. I just want to give everybody a shout out what we do here. We're here Tuesdays and Thursdays. Today is our 300th podcast. And we're going to go back a little bit to the giveaway Thursdays. Just today, I want to do a little celebration, share the goods. And so the next person to type gold will give you a 1-month gold membership to Harmonic Trader. You have to contact Miss Stephanie on the Discord. And if Miss Stephanie can put that link in the chat, I'd appreciate it. Okay, let's go to a couple other crypto. Let's go to Ethereum because I think Ethereum's revving. And I like it. A pause up here. Private wins. Nice. Private, you got to contact Miss Stephanie. I'll be doing more. I'll give away a couple more books. But here is Ethereum, guys, and really a nice action holding above this 3,000 level. And we're looking for what I think is not only a retest of HSI at around 4,000, but I really think we're going to get the 886 test to set up the deep crab for later. It doesn't have to be a deep crab, but if we're at this, we've come this far, and if we weren't going to react hard off of that 786, we're 3-4 weeks into it, we'd already be lower. That's my point. The 1 week reversal phenomenon, okay, of where we are like right now. If you see this, and this is something just to consider going forward, you get like a 1-2 week, and it's an couple of inside bars there. Not to fret. You're just kind of, it's just a pause within the uptrend, and I'd go to here, bring it to the 4 hour. Okay, a couple of 4 hour oversold, and we had a bat pattern on Ethereum. Who likes that? This is why I want everybody to have the software, especially for this cycle, because it's going to outline the areas of where to be getting in on for continuations. And I also, I'm going to get to a couple here where we should be thinking about actively trading these moves a lot more. So Ethereum double dot, 4 hour time frame, 32.46 is the hop level. If you were just trading that, you would think, okay, 32.46, confirmation comes in. I think that could go to 35.50, at least 34.60 area. 8-10% move. Really, a lot of these patterns have been setting up quite nicely. Let me go to something that I've really been warming up to. I've been trading this a little bit more, Bitcoin Cash. And I've mentioned this before, but check out the crab pattern. Okay, really nice structure. Reaction. This was almost a perfect type 1, and I had a couple of things where just caught this reaction right back up into the zone. Remember, reaction always on the first test. The other thing about someone asked me recently about why the harmonic pattern collection would show you a blue pattern and then it would go away. Well, that's a pending or potential. The way the software works is that it will generate this sun icon first, and you should wait for it because probably one of the most common misunderstandings is that you have to hit the trade right at the number because it's going to go straight down. Doesn't work like that. It's hit the number, 3 to 5 bar window consolidation, give me confirmation, reaction, back down, and maybe a reversal. But there have been a number of really fine 4-hour patterns, bearish as targets, bullish as entries, okay, that have been just over and over again. Let me get to a few new ones. So here's big time, folks. Big time was running on the daily, and I think now it is very close to getting us a dot to give us a big type 2. It's one of the nicest patterns I've seen. You have this crazy type 1 that tested right after, I guess the Coinbase feed's probably better for this. There you go. Where'd it go? Maybe not. Sorry, hold on. Come back, whatever. I'll stay on this one. 24.5. I'm watching it really close. This could maybe do a wick down or something, but you're very close to you're one more bullish day from generating a yellow dot like there and there. Eyes on that. Really, I think that's one of the nicest type 2s I've seen. Again, things that are really close or have done 1 and 2s. Check out auction. This is bounce token. Big thrust up. I mean, huge move. Did the type 1 bat on the retracement. And so can you get down one more retest here? Give me some confirmation. That's the kind of type 2s we want to have going into the halving or where we want to be positioned. Let's say we have a little more of a retracement down and that triggers in a week or two. Makes a lot of sense. Like if the market's going to really start to heat up post halving, that would be great. Also, some of the others, we got to take a look at Solana. And if you guys have a few you want to look at, I've got a little time for that. But I'll look at picks, but I want to kind of update, highlight things that are new ideas, things yet to move. But Solana, there's that core group. We're going to always update every session because they're a larger story. They're telling a larger story about where this overall crypto market's going to go. Solana pausing. This has got that 238 written all over it. That's target 2 off the shark. Remember, we looked at that as a shark or as a bat pattern. There you go. And that's 175. If it was a bat pattern, we would say, okay, that's probably about it. What do we consider at this point? Well, as long as it maintains the uptrend, still okay. The other bigger consideration, we talked about this last week. We're looking for this. Can that roll out of the zone? That would be a nice little pause correction. I'm monitoring it. The strongest thing for this, I'll tell you what, if you see Solana, and I will tell you if it happens, but if we see Solana do this and doesn't come out of the zone and wants to stay up there, then you're looking for it to go into a new phase where it's straight to the 886, which is like 236 or higher. Impressive stuff. I mean, that is a lot like Bitcoin because just every week they try to throw it down and gets bought up and gets bought up. Hey, Greg, what's up? Greg, let's get you a Harmonic Trader book. You're always in here too. Same with you, Mr. Ken. If you guys want to get a Harmonic Trader book, contact Miss Stephanie. We'll set you guys up. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the long-term people who've been here for, I guess it's like 3 years now. Couple more. Let's look at a couple things that have yet to move. What are we doing here? Let's talk about the pink elephant in the room, which is obviously XRP out of the top 10. What's going on here? A lot of frustrated XRP people. I get you. I hear you. I think the only thing you can say to yourself is stick with the trend line. We did register a couple of oversolds in the last 6 months where here and there reinforces that this uptrend is intact. It's not doing anything like a lot of the high flyers. Absolutely, probably one of the most weakest performers, but you're still fine. And if you got to 95 cents, you'd be a champ for the double or triple off the low. So patience with that. I did disclose that in our crypto webinar last month, I've been managing a static portfolio that I presented back in December, and I did move some allocation around where I reduced my XRP by half and rolled it into Bitcoin and Solana. So I did want to disclose that, but I still think this is going to run, and I think it's just a matter of getting it in the right stage to really get moving. One of the things that XRP needs to do on the weekly, turn up and stay up in this above the 50 line for amplified. There's a few of these that we'll look at. Some real T-coin style setups and crypto, specific crypto that are interesting to me. One of them is this Jasmy. Okay, getting a lot of questions on this, and I think it's more about everybody is looking at that. They're saying, wow, it's only 2 cents, and if it could go anywhere close to the all-time highs, that could even be a 10x from now. And this is a prime poster child, if you will, example of a lot of crypto that has yet to move. It was 0.003 cents, and I went to 2.5. You're just a bit under 2 cents. Okay. What I can offer with this is still look for your triggers. Daily oversold. That's been our kind of our recipe, minimum recipe. Of course, we'd love to see daily patterns, but daily oversold. Okay, you have that. You're consolidating in that zone. Do I have any 4-hour patterns? Any 4-hour patterns here? All right, there's a bat pattern back here. Actually, a couple of back-to-back patterns. How to look at something like this is, can we do the type 2? Just like the last one we looked at, we were saying if that can get a type 2, here on the 4-hour, about 150. Okay, 150 on the 4-hour. A daily oversold is the same level. This is kind of the recipe of how I would break down all those T coins. You got it, Mr. Ken. Mr. Ken, I appreciate that. Contact Miss Stephanie and we'll get you set up with a gold membership or a software. Tell her what you want and we'll set you up with that. What's up, Ivan? Ivan Vasquez. He wants to look at Rose on the weekly or 3-day. You probably have something really good there. You usually do. Rose, USD, the Oasis Network. 4-hour pattern. Thank you very much, my friend. I do like that. This is part of the recipe I was just saying. Nice steady retracement, 18, 19 down to 12 with a swing 886 bat. Daily oversold? Oh, yeah. Thank you. And look at this. I just want to trace through it so people understand every harmonic pattern, no matter what the time frame, no matter, what the market, we're always looking for that reaction, and that is designated by the software automatically by T1 and then T1 dollar sign. Then you look for the return move. This one did it perfectly. Confirmation, yellow dot at the hop. Look at the zone. And it's important to walk through these ideal situations because they will repeat in the same manner in other setups. But if you're looking for this, like as a short opportunity, the bigger move is always with the T2 and dot. So you get T2 and dot. As soon as that dot forms, you're looking for that rollover like this. And it still has this whole reversal took like eight bars, 8 days. So you could easily have been tracking that with plenty of time. Down to target 2. Well, there's confirmation. Look at what it did. It hit target 2 days ago exactly. So that pattern's done. That's beautiful. And you have a bullish yellow dot there. That's what that means. That frames out a nice area. We have a 4-hour pattern where, okay, I could see this at least trying to make yet another run back up to the zone. So for now, yeah, nice reaction. Go to 1450, maybe as high as 16. Ideal setup. I mean, this is the kind of thing where you trade these as this volatility picks up in the crypto post-halving. Super nice. Now, you want to look at weekly. And weekly on, yeah, this is Coinbase. Yeah. Okay. Is perfect. Is that a 1-2 on the weekly? Interesting. Really tough to see this, but what I've been saying is that we did have a perfect 2. Let me give you the zone. There you go. Really tough to see it because on the week, there it hits the first pattern at 16. The next week, it got thrown down. Pretty crazy. Exactly hit target 1, then popped back up. Regardless, there's T2, there's your yellow dot. Okay, weekly doesn't look as nice. And I think, yeah, if you would maybe come down a little bit lower on rows, possibly. Weekly, not nearly as nice. I think the 4-hour is like a reaction trade. That's it. Treat it as such. And then if you're going to get something larger, maybe that does come. Maybe you do something like this on rows. Go up, come back down. Stuff like that. Let me show you guys a few other massive patterns. Now, they're real garbage. They're real. I've got a bunch of this, and I'll share it with you anyway. Green Satoshi coin. Yes, I said it. Green Satoshi coin. But it was perfect Gartley, 4-hour. Hasn't done much except for, hug the XA level at 4.1 cents. Little overbought with HSI, but daily oversold. So I'm willing to take a shot here. That is it's a meme coin extraordinaire, but I really think this is something that the kind of play where if we're going to speculate, forget the name, because what about the whiff dog hat thing? Remember that? Whiff dog hat, whatever. whatever that is. Okay, yeah, that's 25 or 20 cents. That's 450. And these are definitely just, this is a speculative bubble, but that's what we came for. We're here for this. Ride the trend line like a train track. Same with those other ones. I will say this. Doge. Doge. Is Doge trying to do something? Doge had some big patterns, and I admit I dismissed them. I was like, it's Doge. There's a lot of other higher quality crypto. I think that was a subjective statement purely. Okay? But Doge, let's go to the weekly. Again, we're getting close to the halving. 2 weeks ago, I covered this whole strategy on saying when we get to the halving, are we at the all-time 382 on your whatever coin? Because if you are, then you have a much better possibility of doing at least a maximum recovery move, which is all-time 886. We also talked about that in the crypto webinar. And it's, yeah, here we go. We have slightly different data feeds. Again, all-time 382 on that one was hit. It's more like this. Where are you? It's like there. So can Doge bust to like 30 cents by the end of the month or by the 20th? That's what you should be thinking. And if it does, then it opens up larger possibilities like that. Hey, these knuckleheads have this thing in full control. And just like last time, the lemmings are going to run over the cliff and bid this thing up of 50 or 618 or 886. You know, you can start to lean to higher possibilities. Final note about this, and with a lot of these that are within reach of their all-time 382s, can you connect dots? Do we have W formations here somehow? Not really here, but you do have kind of like a shark. Can you do something like that? Go to the 886. That's why it's really good to understand the manual calculations of each pattern so you can eye it. But the software is going to highlight those critical patterns, stuff like this, where to jump on. I've showed a few of those. Let me show you one or two more. Where is, was it Filecoin? Filecoin, Coinbase. This one, like ICP, want to start looking at that if it's going to set up for the next continuation, but daily oversold. Another 4-hour pattern on Filecoin. This one is really sweet. We just generated the T2, guys. This is why you're here at the stream. This is why these are the kind of ideas and kind of setups where, let me help you serve these up. I'm always open here if you guys have stuff like this, but these are the kind of things to be presenting all the time where it's done the work of the reaction. Now, Filecoin back in, getting some confirmation. T2, 822 was hit perfectly. Now 871. And target to at 1065. That's how we walk through it. That's our expectation after the T2. Okay, and with the daily, if that's our C point, we're already anticipating a continuation up here. Well, I think an all-time, a retest of this recent high. There's a 618 again to almost 786, but something like a Gartley minimum. Get the picture? We can already connect dots and say, risk is pretty well quantified. We don't need to even risk that much. What, a buck for $4, $3, 1 to 3? keep an eye on that. I am continuing to go through a lot of these that this hasn't run yet. This go to the monthly. Can this thing do something surprising before the halving? And I'm trying to kind of stay on top of a whole list of like 100 or more crypto and just punch through every day or so, 4-hour patterns, all time. Where's the all-time 382? Even if it just went to the all-time 382, that's $93. What's up, Drew? Rad's still in the basement. It can still be in the basement. I'll show you one or two more of those, but that's a relatively new one. Oh, monthly. Yeah, you probably need a little bit more action. I'll show you something that's, I've showed this before. I caught a chunk of this mobile helium. The first one, that's a daily. Here's a 4-hour. So this is came back. I caught this first move, then got stopped out with a bunch of it here, but still holding like 20% of that original bag. I'm kind of pissed. I wrote it up and backed down with 20% of it, but gave back some chunk. I still like it. Probably going to add back here. Helium's got a few nice setups with more data. You go back on the other, like crypto.com. Okay, big bat pattern, nice consolidation. Looks like a few more days and that thing will start to pivot out. What's up, Goldeneye? Wants to look at Gala, and that's another one. There's a couple right in there. Gala, another one. Bang, 4-hour bat, nice. High level consolidation here. So think about this. Some of the crypto really got crunched on this latest pullback in the past week. This one, not so much. And another 4-hour pattern, 5.5, and then daily trigger, almost getting there. That kind of reminds me of Phantom too. Like Phantom was 120. I'm still long this. I'm still long Phantom. I've been all the way back from, it was down there at like 30 cents or even lower. No, Phantom was an early one. I think it was, first buys were like 20, and then we had a 4-hour, big 4-hour patterns. Yeah, I think it was more like back in January. Anyway, Phantom getting oversold. Gala, same deal, and more in that gaming arena, things to focus on that I've mentioned before. Axie Infinity, just stair-stepping up. Beautiful back-to-back bat patterns. I'm thinking this thing is trying to pound out about around the $9 level. Kind of reminds me of Link at $9 before it ran. So, I have been long that for a little while. And this thing, another one that is yet to move, relatively speaking. The other one, Avalanche, a little disappointing. I rolled out of some of Avalanche too when I did the adjustment in the long-term portfolio. But how to know if something's not going to do a type 2? It can be like this. All right, you do straight on through, target 1, target 2. There's a high level HSI, and we have another. Just sitting on the trend line, slowly, steadily. So 47 could be continuation point. You get a dot for sure. Maybe come back on next week. By then it would be setting up. Again, these are slower. They're not really like your, so AI. Okay, some of the AI pulled back. Let's go to Fetch. Where's Fetch going? Because Fetch Looked like it wanted to do another big thrust, and it probably still will. All of these oversold readings, that's a daily chart too. That's the obvious make break on this. We are way past any massive 3618 or whatever. Here you go. This was the pattern. From there to there, 3618 is there. I think there's a good example of what to look for when you even blow a 3618. 3618 is, or there's the 314. Okay, 2618 a little bit lower. Straight on through. And even with this reading, this yellow dot right up at there at 3618, I would be concerned. I took some partial profit up here. But now I think we're actually in a spot to reaccumulate on fetch against all those levels around 240. 4 hour. Looks like that's oversold again too. And now what we have? Big bat pattern on fetch. So this thing looks like it's building. 250 is the next step in the process. One or two more of the AI. So AIOZ. There it is. Another one. Okay. This is probably moved on the daily. It's insane, but here we are. And to me, this looks like trying to do something like this on the 4 hour. Of course, not surprised to see that consolidate because you have this type of move, huge thrust. 20 to a buck, 5x in a few weeks is that sustainable? As a continuation with a pattern and HSI, everything you see, I think it's worth a shot. I'm looking actively down here at 81, and we just generated the dot. So if fetch is going to do something continuation, like another large thrust, it should be from like here, sorry, AIOZ, and back up. There are others, render. Talked about a lot of these in the past. And I think it's more about the framework and just understanding that regardless of how far these have moved, we're looking for the continuation. So look for 4 hour relative daily oversold. Here's render. Beautiful deep crab. You guys get the picture of what's happening. Okay. 4 hour pattern. These have done a nice little pullback after a big run. I mean, that's no doubt. 3 to 12, come back to 9 and get ready to go again. Ouija Whammer, what's up? AGIX. Yeah, that's, again, I don't know what the three of those are going to do or how soon they're going to merge the coin. Obviously, there'll be winners and losers. There will be, I think, just add to the speculative juice of what's been happening with all three of these in Ocean. But the fact that these are oversold readings here, there's your daily. Singularity net. Oversold. We have a 4 hour. Not really. No 4 hour structure there. Let me see if another. Yeah, kind of a butterfly here. 94 cents. But, I look for the 4 hour patterns. I really feel like you're getting premium pullback setups now that's how we should discern the opportunities. What's up, John? John Dwight, how about a harmonic trader for you, man? Contact Miss Stephanie. I'd love to send you one. Ergo, AERGO, he wants to look at. How's that, Gartley? 14 cents. T2, that's a pretty amazing back-to-back. I like that, but 14 cents. But that's moving. Even, look, that's the kind of price action you want to see, because you've got a pattern looking left. Your trend is definitely up this year, and we're looking to buy on retracements, type 2 retests. Couple more. I'll get to the other ones our next session. ICP is a good one to look at because I think that has already proven itself. There, a huge move up. 4-hour oversold. Not the last time to go on this was back in here. It was just 2 weeks ago. Look, deep crab. Look at that deep crab on the 4-hour. And that's why we're looking for 4-hour patterns that have yet to play out. Really interesting that there's your T1, went to T1 dollar sign. Okay, and a real sneaky reaction came all the way back down to the hop before it took off. It's kind of played out for now, but I'm actively watching that. If we could get something to set up, I'll be the first one to highlight it. Before I get out of here, let's gander at the totals. Totals. Okay, total crypto index is your friend. Same crab pattern as Bitcoin, almost identical, but we do have a dot. This has generated some confirmation. If you got to 2.3 trillion before the halving as a corrective retest low, well, that would be a big deal. That would probably launch the whole next move. And you have it on the total daily. Yeah, you have an oversold. It looks like to me, this is just getting into be a simple pennant wedge flag formation that does a couple touches and then goes. Absolutely. In here, and you bust to the outside for the continuation. Total 3, that's the T-coin index. Doing the things you want to see for something to continue. What's the last HSI on the daily? On total 3 index. So we're still intact for this uptrend to speculate on the T-coins. There, all important continuation. This is the main trend line. Then we pull it out, get some perspective on what the big numbers are. T2 is 850. That's a verifiable pattern. Okay, that pattern at 850, we've seen this so many times where target 2s get clipped on crypto, even if it's a type 1. We're trying to get out of the zone on HSI this week. Look, HSI is trying to come out. That's pretty interesting. I'm watching that, but it would only be the first step in the process. I think we could still do that move to 850 before the halving, if not right after the halving, but that's your immediate target before you want to go to price discovery considerations. But the T-coin index with that kind of a pattern is going to end up being a great structure looking left. Maybe, I don't know, some Fed news, CPI. There's a lot of narrative out there, guys. I always stick, and what we do here is always about harmonic pattern framework, measurements, the expectations of reaction reversal, because we understand where we are. It's not 100% of the time we get it dead on, but we get it dead on more than enough to where this serves us up to kind of navigate through all that confusing narration. Stick with it. All right. Tell you what, first person to type in HPC, we're going to give you a 90-day subscription. For those that have hung on here for the 300th podcast, let's do a little quick giveaway. Rec Law, okay, contact Miss Stephanie. Let's set you up. If you already have HPC, I recommend one of the other platforms, or we'll set you up with a gold membership. Okay? Appreciate it. And let's give away one more Harmonic Trader by typing in Harmonic Trader. And we will mail you a Harmonic Trader book, or if you're international, we'll give you a gold membership. Again, I can't do anything about the international membership, international subscription, shipping. They're just not getting there. Who knows? All right. Fed, you win. So Fed, contact Miss Stephanie. Miss Stephanie, if you can post that Discord link, I'd really appreciate that. Okay, post that there, and I'll post it. It'll be on the comments page. So for those that are watching at home, connect with the Discord. All right, hit subscribe, like if what you enjoyed today. We'll be back. Let's see here. We'll be back Tuesday, right? Tuesday, the 9th. A lot to get to. Solar eclipse coming. Get your glasses. Anyway, until then, have a great weekend. Thank you to all for making this really special. I appreciate you. Have a great one. As always, go get them.